Yo, no maniacs. Welcome to the show. This is Nomad Live, all Bears all the time, in conjunction with Sports Zone Chicago and the Superback Sean Sierra, man. Welcome to the show, everybody, again. Hey, man, if you stop before we even get started today, please make sure you go hit the like button before we get in here. If you got to pop out for a second before the show gets rolling, and as everybody's starting to trickle into the show, please jump out and hit the like button. It's free. And so is the subscribe button. If you want to help us build and keep growing this community and you love the content, please hit that subscribe button if you have not already. We definitely would appreciate it, both over here at the Nomad Network and on Sports Zone Chicago with my guy Sean. We would greatly appreciate that. But let's get going, man. I got some pretty bad news to talk about, but we'll save it until everybody gets done with their pleasantries. But let me just pass it on to the Canuck and give out some pleasantries before we get going. You're muted, kids.
I'm good, brother. Yo, no maniacs. What's cracking? It's Monday. No drinks today for me. I'm sorry. We'll wait till later in the week. Outside of that, hatless kids, a little trim. Need a little trim. Is what it is. But it's hot in Canada, so I ain't complaining. In any event, good to see you guys coming through with all of us. Give a little bit of love to you guys out there in the woods. We're going to start with my guy, Billy Ocean. Going gets tough, dog. Going gets tough. It's Crimson is in the building. Smitty Q's with us. Chicago Sports Podcast. Love your stuff, brother. I'm about to give you a little bit of love in the chat. By all means, hit me up on Twitter, my friend. We should do something, man. We should do something together. It would be awesome to connect. At Moss, I didn't get to hit you up yesterday. Give you a little bit of love. Smitty Q, what it do, Smitty Q? Mr. Junior, how are you, Junior? Patty Laura, hey, Patty. Squeegee, how you doing, Squeegee? Number one No Maniac Plank is in the building today with us. Who else we got? Jan Hammer, not related to the guy who made the music for Miami Vice, but whatever. Big love to you, Jan. Good to see you back. Or is it Jan? If it's Jan, I apologize. I will. Hopefully, you will accept either one. Our guy Jay Grizz is with us today. Who else we got? I miss anybody out there? I think I just topped most of it off. Anyhow, folks will trickle in. Mr. Mayhem's with us, just jumped in. AC Adams with us. Yo, it'll be a great show. We're going to go through, and let me pass it to my guy, the Bishop. How you feeling, Bishop?
Man, I'm feeling good today, kids. I'm feeling good. Happy Monday to everybody. This is No Maniac Monday. But more importantly, just thank you to everybody that's joining us today, to our always faithful in the chat. How you guys doing today? What's going on to you guys? And to my faithful out there, to my number one girl, Sharita, a.k.a. Rita, my sister, Felicia, my boy and my niece out there in Florida, Stuart and Sophie, and my boy out there in the D, my man V-Dub, who's actually off today, enjoying a well-deserved day off. So enjoy your day, my brother. But more importantly, man, I'm chopping it up with my guys today. We're going to talk some Bears football, of course. Man, I'm excited about it. As I said on Friday, I'm going to say it again. I'm ready for it to get going now. So with that being said, as I always do, Chi-Town, Chicago, West Side, South Side, all of Chicago, stand up. Sean, what's going on, my brother?
Before you go, Sean, you want to address that, kids? I think it's you see that down at the bottom of the screen.
So he's saying it's Jan. That's really what he's saying. I'm sorry, Jan. I'm sorry, bro.
I thought it was Jan on the side too.
I grew up with a Jan as a kid. Two kids from Eastern Europe, Jan and and Sadi was the other name. Anyhow, so I'm glad I caught myself. I will correct it moving forward, my dude. I'm with it.
Go ahead, Sean.
Super bad.
Owners and No Maniacs Unite. Happy House Music Monday. Man, it was a beautiful house music weekend, all weekend. Man,
what?
House music all night long. Say what, man? Make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago. Okay, follow our YouTube channel. All right, make sure you download our Roku channel so you can catch us on a big screen. It was a good weekend. I was really excited. Friday night at Cicero House Music Fest. They had the House Music Fest at Millennium Park downtown all weekend. It was capped off yesterday with Farley Jackmaster Funk. Ooh, Charlie, it was nuts. I was at Gene Hunt on Friday.
Yeah, man, I like that video you sent me too, brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's summertime. Shy is here, baby, and you know what? That means training camp is around the corner, and that means Bear football is right behind it. So looking forward to it. Had a great show this morning. Talked with my guy Herb Howard. All Bears this morning. So I'm really looking forward to chopping it up with my mans and them, all of my mans and them today. So let's get it started. Nomad.
Hey, what's going on one more time, everybody? Glad to see everybody in the show, man. As everybody's trickling in, man, I wanted to just touch up on last night's show. Last night was pretty fun, man. We had, and shout out to my guy Tim Bears and Petty Murphy that jumped in with us and joined us for the show, man. It's a pretty, I wouldn't say contentious, but we had some good, solid, healthy back and forth with each other last night about the concept of the show was, do the Bears have the playmakers to contend for an NFL championship? And I'm gonna tell you this, like I said last night at the end of the show. If you're a Bears fan, which everybody is in here except Don, but he's a Bears fan too, but he just won't admit it to himself. We go to therapy and get that straightened out one of these days. But I would say this one more time to everybody, and I'll give everybody a chance to speak on it. As a Bears fan, lifelong Bears fan, I think the Bears, the sensitivity of the fan base and the emotions that come with it, and the fact that the Bears haven't really had a team that even came real close to contending since '85. I think we're kind of gun shy. I think we're scared, kind of to really root for reaching for the stars. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have made that show last night and put what was on that thumbnail if I really didn't believe the Bears. I feel like the Bears have the pieces to contend. I'd say why not? And if you allowing people as a Bears fan to get you off your mark and stop you from being excited about your team, feeling like your team can take it the distance, I think you're mistaken as a Bears fan. I think each year is different. Each team every year is different. And I don't think it's any reason for someone, you can't move me off of my mark. I think this team has just as good a chance to compete, even with a rookie quarterback, as any other team in the NFL. It's all about attrition, getting in a groove, and a little bit of luck going towards the end of the season. And I don't see any reason why I don't feel out of place by saying I feel good about the Bears' chances to contend for one. But I'll pass it to the Canuck one more time with that subject and see what he says.
So I was just waiting for like the Kool-Aid man to come jumping through the screen and say, "Oh yeah," and that was really what I was waiting for. There's no "oh yeah," no Kool-Aid man, just Nomad. I'm gonna try to follow this all up and say, look, I believe that there's a possibility for Super Bowl contention here. I do also believe that there's a few things that we need to do to get there, to really stamp it, mark the territory, strike fear in the rest of the NFC, let alone the NFL. Do they have the ability to do so? Yes, I think they do. But again, there are a couple of little areas there that I think there's needed improvement. I also am, I've been a Bears fan for a long time. I've seen a lot of weird stuff. So I'm not going to crown these guys as Super Bowl contenders today until I actually see some stuff, right? Like that's really where my heart is. I need to see a little bit more by way of coaching from Eberflus and these new guys. I believe the new guys have it, and I think they're going to show you guys, show all of us Bears fans what an offense like this is actually supposed to look like in Chicago. And we've had a heck of a time trying to be able to see something like that. But at the end of the day, as I say, I'm just sort of in a wait and see mode. I just want to see it on the field before I can, put that seal of approval on it. But we're almost there, guys. Since we did the switcheroo, super back.
Oh.
Yeah, you see?
Sorry about that, man. I just had to let people see the background.
Oh, okay. You talk about if we're contenders or not.
Yeah, man. I mean, your honest opinion, man.
I was just reiterating this kind of. I think we're playoff contenders. I don't know if we're Super Bowl contenders. I don't think we're Super Bowl contenders yet. I think there's, and I could be wrong, but I think they lose in the divisional round. Okay. I mean, if you get to the NFC Championship game, at that point, all bets are off because it's an injury here, an injury there, or a key play here, a key penalty there could propel you to the Super Bowl. But I just think that right now they're about a year away from being true Super Bowl contenders. All right. With, and that could change. with post June 1st cuts, there's a lot of other things that are going on. But right now, the way it stands, I just think that they're a playoff team. Whether it's, we talked about the division. I mean, the schedule. I like it. I like the setup of it. A lot easier games, more winnable games from week 1 through 10. So there's 9 games in there, including a bye. I think they get to work out a lot of their issues, a lot of the kinks, and get some continuity together in those first 10 weeks before week 11 when we welcome the Packers here, as opposed to going to Lambeau. I think they're ready. I think this defense is really ready to be really talked about as one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think they want to be a top 5, top 3, or literally the top defense. And I think that's going to help us a lot in the transition period for Caleb and his offense to get to gel and become familiar with each other. So I think this is really exciting again. We haven't had an offense like this, excuse me, since 2013 with Cutler, Marshall, Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett, Matt Forte. All right, that was a dope one. All right, but we just need this everything we just can't move time fast enough. That's the only thing. We can't get chemistry to get here faster. We can't get the timing down faster. That's going to take time. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to enjoy the ride, as I always tell my people. Enjoy the ride. Be where your feet are at. And right now we're in mandatory OTAs is coming up, and just be there and enjoy it. All right, Bishop.
Well, I'm going to agree with both you guys with regard to this. First and foremost, on paper, talent-wise, we can definitely compete. Are we Super Bowl contenders? I'm not quite sure we're there yet. Are we playoff contenders? Again, on paper, yes. But if everything comes together as we think it should, yes. With that being said, I have to agree with Kez with regard to we got to see what comes out of our coaching ranks in terms of how do they get these guys coached up. But more importantly, as Sean was saying, right now with what we have in terms of talent and everything, it's hard to dispute whether or not they're definitely playoff contenders, if nothing else. But with the schedule, the way it's set up, anything is possible, especially each team right now, whether it's now or within the season, is an injury or 2 away from either being a contender or being completely out of the picture. So health is going to be a key factor, along with the development of key positions and players on the team. I would say right now, based off of what we currently have in the building, pre-June 1st, yes. What happens post-June 1st could even determine how much more closer that gets us. So right now, I would say yes, we are playoff contenders, and I would say no to Super Bowl contenders this year. But I have to agree with Superback with regard to after this season and next draft, we should very easily be spoken in the realm of not only winning the NFC championship, but more importantly, contending for a Super Bowl. So I'm just, again, as I said Friday and again today, let's go.
Man,
Nomad, to you, brother.
Let me tell y'all something, man. As a fan and as a person with I'm loaded with confidence. You know what I mean? I'm not shy about much of anything. And I think to me, the fan base, I'm not talking about each individual fan. I'm talking about as a collective. It feels like we got so much sting and so much hurt. It's like the kid at school, man, that's scared to fight. And you pump him up and like, man, you can handle this dude. You can handle him. And he's terrified. And all of a sudden you get just enough in him, give him enough boost of confidence. He just closes his eyes and starts swinging. And by the time he opens his eyes, the dude that he was scared of is on the ground because he done knocked him out. That's what the fan base reminds me of. I think we are afraid of what we're capable of. I'm not saying anybody's wrong, Sean, Bishop, kids. I'm not saying. I think you guys, for the most part, are right. On paper, it appears to be what you guys say it is. But I think given the situation, given a little bit of momentum and some luck, which every team needs to make a real run at anything, you're going to need a whole bunch of that. I think we are just in good a shape as any team out there. If the Houston Texans can get as far as they got with a rookie quarterback. Why the hell can't we? Why the hell are we afraid to believe that? Because it's the hurt. It's the history. That's the stuff that lingers with people, and they can't help themselves but to be a little bit pessimistic about the whole thing. But I'm here to tell you, I don't suffer from that illness. I don't. I flush every year down the toilet after it's gone. And so I believe in what these guys have built in that building, the players they put on this roster. Yes, it is all on paper. They do need to put it together. But don't be shy about rooting for your team to take it the distance. It's quite possible. It's the NFL. Any damn thing can happen any given year. And so that's just my last take on it. But I got some sad news. Go ahead, kids.
I'm before we jump off, you're hitting the nail on the head. It's really about it is a question of trauma. We've been in similar situations, but not quite like this. And let's just put the reality out there. Never again has any of these rookie quarterbacks that we've seen in the past who come to this team, never have they been in a situation quite like this one. This is a serious and stark change, stark departure from Mitch Trubisky, Rex Grossman, you name it, right? This team is stacked. And it's really just a question of how quickly they can acclimate. If they struggle to get out the gate, odds of Super Bowl is pretty slim. Same token, I would rather them struggle out the gate and get, build momentum down the road and figure things out. But, there will be growing pains. Let's just accept that. And I think that's where the whole fan base is. We're going to take a quick peek and watch the kid grow and watch the team gel together. But hopefully it is just a stark shift in what we've seen in the past by way of a rookie quarterback, period. Hopefully It is the exact opposite of what we've ever seen. And if that's the case, guys, we're going to be in for one heck of a season, y'all.
Fellas, real quick, before you go, Sean, I want to ask you guys one particular question before you go. I just want to ask y'all straight up, and I want to hear some real honesty. In any world, did you imagine the Houston Texans where they ended up at the end of last season? Any one of y'all can go. Did anybody imagine it?
No.
I'm gonna let you go, and I'm just gonna say, I actually kind of did, just me. I don't know about everybody else.
Well, you know what, kids? And when I mean by no, I didn't expect it in the beginning, but after the first couple of games, I said, "Oh, this team is going to be special," because I saw them taking on the identity in which that they had actually built the team to be. So, with that being said, as the season went on, I was like, "This team is going to be scary," and I'm saying the same thing for our team right now. I feel the same way with our team. It's a scary team on paper and what you're going to see on the field. I just want to, I'm just being I said before, we should, and I believe we will make the playoffs. I just don't know if we can get to the Super Bowl, but I believe we can. I believe we're going to be in the playoffs this season with a rookie quarterback.
And go ahead, Sean. I interrupted you, bro. My bad.
Yeah, well, I'm saying you talk about struggling early. Well, I think that they've tried to mitigate that. All right, that's with the run game, and that can be mitigated also with the fact that the schedule that they have is a lot easier from 1 through 10. All right, and there's people that you play that might not be able to exploit your mistakes. All right, Houston, I think, is the one definite place that the Bears could lose. I looked at, and I know it sounds weird. And people may say I'm a homer or whatever, but that's cool. But I looked at the first 9 games, and I found it very difficult to find a third loss in that 9 games. I found it very difficult. I could see Houston, okay. And then Indy is still a wild card because we don't know how Richardson is going to play after being, after actually having to look at football through a different lens. He had to look at it from a coach's perspective last year. He couldn't play. So he's able to watch people play. He's able to critique what they do. He's able to see what he would have done, what was done correctly, things of that nature. All right. Them and the Rams are the only two. And I say they take one of those two. I'll take 7-2. I'll even take 6-3. So you go 6-3 in that first 9 games, and you split the rest. That's 10-7. That's more than likely a playoff spot, probably a wild card. And depending on how the other teams in the division do, that could be the division. Who knows? but more likely
lately, that's playoff territory lately.
Yeah, it is. So you know what? I just don't think as I said, they're Super Bowl ready. I think you got the Eagles, you got the team out in San Fran, Santa Clara, the Niners. I just think there's a couple other teams that they still not ready to hurdle yet. But I don't think that I think you talk about them struggling. I don't know. And I actually talked about this with Herb today. I was like, what if they struggle? But because I don't have a problem. I mean, I have a problem seeing them struggling because you're not putting the weight on Caleb's shoulders. All right, he's not going to be the best player on that team, and nor should he be. Not at this stage of the game. Remember, I said it before. This year, you're going to win with Caleb. Next year, maybe toward the last 4 or 5 games of the year, you're going to win because of Caleb. And as long as they have that type of mentality, you turn around and hand the ball off, you turn around and get you quick slants, quick hits to Keenan Allen, to DJ Moore, to Cole Kmet. As long as you have that mentality, man, you know what? I don't see much. I don't see a lot of struggles. A lot.
All right, man. I you know what? We got to carry on with the show, but I thought it would be important to retouch that. I don't know how many people was watching this show now got a chance to watch that show last night. I know it's most of the people in here that I see were there last night, but I'm sure some people in here that didn't get to see that. And I'm gonna be optimistic as anybody's business, man. Ain't no reason why the Bears can't make a run at anything this year. You know, it's no reason. You know, I think they got the pieces other than what Barlissimo is saying in the chat, but that's a whole other show. He's talking about the O-line and some pieces that need addressing. I agree with that, man. That's a whole other show we're going to do later on here, probably sometime this week. But I digress, man, because some sad news, man, some real sad news. I'm about to share my screen real quick. NFL got rocked this morning, man, with the news of, man, it's just bad. Larry Allen, NFL Hall of Famer. Let me go. That's the wrong story. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Allen, man, NFL Hall of Famer, suddenly dies on vacation while in Mexico at the age of 52 years old. Right, age of 52 years old, man. And man, you know what, dude? Let me get back into the studio. Can you guys still see that?
Yeah.
All right, dude. I love vintage film, and I love watching old school football. That's not so long ago to me. That Larry Allen team, the Emmitt Smith team, that's a long time ago to some people, but not long ago for me. And watching that team, and Larry Allen probably has to be the most freakish athlete I've ever seen in my life at the offensive line. Absolutely a freak of nature. Do me a favor. I'm going to type something in the chat. But if you all have not seen it, you need to check this out on YouTube. I wish I could show it to you on here. It's called Larry Allen Stops a Pick Six. I'm putting it in the chat now. But have you ever seen that video, Sean?
Yep.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about. You want to describe that? Because that was the easiest.
Interception. He gets Troy Aikman throws an interception. And looks like my man, they're down there deep in the end. Look, they're about to go in and punch it in for a tutty. And Troy Aikman throws a pick down the sideline, and it looks like there's nobody. And you see this guy, 300 and something pounds, 315, 320 pounds. All right. Just first and foremost, attempt to bring down the ball carrier. Okay. But secondly, the angle with which he took. All right. That's phenomenal football IQ. All right. He didn't trail him and try to catch him. No. He took an angle. He met him, and he realized, my man, he's a lot lighter. He's a lot faster. So I got to take a really deep angle, really steep angle, and meet him at the 15 to 10 or inside the 10-yard line. And he was moving like someone called dinner. My man was moving and knocked my man out at inside the 10, save a touchdown. That's the type of determination. That's the type of pride that he had. That's the type of sizzle. Had 300 plus pounds, barely supposed to 335, 330 plus pounds of a man taking a proper angle to knock a guy out inside the 10. And I would have hated to have been anywhere near being in his way to get run over by a 335-pound man moving that fast would have been the death of me. But just a guy that big, that nimble, that agile, that athletic, man, with that type of mentality that he had, not just all that, because you get a lot of you get a lot of players with that size, those size, but you don't have that heart, you don't have that mentality, you don't have that dog mentality, and he was one of the main he's been the foundation points of the Cowboys who had that mentality, and he's like, no, you're not getting 6 if I can stop it. And sure enough, my man, whew, I know he had to get an oxygen mask afterwards, but you know what? That's also every single coach wants to see. Every single one.
Sean, you gotta speak to this, man. I'm gonna speak to this. I actually saw this on film. Jay Greer, shout out to Jay Greer for this one. Larry Allen, RIP, was the only man I ever witnessed put a stop to Reggie White's pass rush. You are absolute. I've never seen any single man outside of Larry Allen absolutely stone Reggie White. I think that's the only man Reggie White ever ran into who was stronger than him. That's the only man. I think Reggie White is like country, like moose strong, and Larry Allen is stronger than him and made him look weak. Man, this dude, I'm telling you, is an absolute alien. Larry Allen was an alien. You know, a lot of people don't really know what 225 pounds feels like because they never had it sitting on their chest to lift it. It sounds like, 225, it ain't nothing. 225 pounds, that's nothing until it's sitting on your chest. But hold on, guys. Got a call coming in. But yeah, 225 pounds. I seen a video of him pressing that thing 43 times. 43 times.
Said he benched 700.
Bench 700. I seen that on tape too.
Insane, dude. What the?
Go ahead, John. I ain't gonna say nothing, man.
I mean, if in football, you ever got on a bench and 185, 225, and then if you've ever played football, you understand. Okay, let me get 225. See how many times I can do it because this is the standard at the combine. Let's see where I stand with draft prospects, or even if regardless, you just wanted to see. And what do you do? 43? 43
times, man.
Dude, people
at the can't combine? Even.
No, he did that at the All-Star game just because people wanted to see him do it. He did that. That's the video I saw. He did it at the All-Star game, Pro Bowl or something.
And you think about it
too. If this is true, Larry Allen never missed a game. I don't know how true that is, but I have no reason to call Jay Greer a lie. But if that's true, I'm telling you, the dude's an alien. He's from some other damn galaxy far, far away.
You know, to have that, and like most people can't even do 43 push-ups in a row.
Right.
43 push-ups in a row. And this dude did that. It's insane. The athleticism of this guy was second to none for offensive linemen. You know, it was elite. I couldn't squat 700 pounds. I only got barely 6. My best I ever did in college. That's still 100 pounds less than that. So it's the line that they had. First of all, the scouting department that they had to get him, to find him at Sonoma State, I want to say, in California. Is that where they found him? This dude was not in Michigan, Ohio State, Nebraska, right. Iowa, SC, all right, Penn State, Florida. That's not. He didn't come from there. He came from small. Yes, he's 2013. I want to say, Ron. It's when he was a first ballot Hall of Famer.
That's when he was inducted.
He was an all-pro at guard and an all-pro at tackle when they moved him out to tackle for a couple of seasons.
Zilla 007
is Pro Bowler.
He's attesting. Zilla 007 says, I can attest to him bench pressing friends with Larry Allen as a kid, hung out with him and his college quarterback, Charles. I have no reason to call Zilla 007 a lie, man. His strength and power and athleticism is stuff of legends. It's like you hear legendary stories of like Bo Jackson and things like that. You hear stuff like that. There ought to be documentaries made of this stuff, man. I heard one time that he got mad at one of his teammates. They had that house in Dallas, fellas, called where they went and partied at the White House. I heard a story that he was sitting down and backhanded one of his teammates in the chest, just sitting down and sent him through a wall. Just backhanded the dude and just sent him through a wall. Just hit him in the chest. He didn't hit him in the face. Just slapped him in the chest with the back of them paws, man, and sent him through a wall. I'm talking about this dude is freakish, man. Just freakish. You want to go ahead, Bishop, because I know we've been talking too much.
No, man, I was just going to say, man, what I recall Larry Allen, man, was just a freak of nature, man. Just a freak of nature. And, you didn't see many like him, man. Not at all. And he actually was that offensive line with regard to attitude, strength, and man, just thinking about him, man, and remembering watching him play, man. Back then, I didn't dislike the Cowboys as much as I dislike them now. And I used to really enjoy watching that offensive line, man, because that was a special offensive line, and he was a big reason for that. So, prayers up to him, prayers up to his family, man, and gone way too soon. Gone way too soon.
52 years old, man. Unbelievable.
Absolutely, man. I think he's one of those guys, as a human being, you hear as many rave reviews about him, as a football fan, I know it was worth my time, and I know you guys appreciate the fact that we paused our show just a minute to really, really pay respects to somebody like that, man. Larry Allen was an absolute legend. Legendary career, man. Legendary feats. What a loss, man. NFL was rocked this morning, but I digress. R.I.P. Larry Allen, man. Have a peaceful journey, brother. I think you deserve it. And so we're going to have to move to the next story, man, and that's going right back to – got to share screen one more time. So I know somebody in our building has got to be pretty happy, and that's got to be DJ Moore with his contract extension talks coming up, because my boy down here, Justin Jefferson, just got a bag.
Show me the money.
Just got a bag. In fact, this guy has absolutely he's got the highest contract of any non-quarterback in league history. It's a 4-year, $140 million deal, as you see on the screen.
35 mil per.
35 mil per, I think 110 guaranteed.
Yes, sir.
That is astounding. I'm not going to take any further meat off the bone, but if you go into DJ Moore, I bet you they better hurry up and get a deal done. But if I was DJ Moore, I might wait. Well, go ahead, kids.
I'm just thinking about that as a prospect. Here's the thing: if you do it now, you save a bunch of money. Let's be real about this, because it's only gonna get more expensive. Now, after watching Ryan Paul's movements, I assume he's gonna wait this season out and make a determination as to whether he's gonna pay both of those wide receivers or one of those wide receivers. And I think that's really the linchpin here. I think that's the reason why he waits, even though it will cost him a fair amount less if he signs DJ Moore now. In fact, like, real talk, probably should have signed him last week before this went out there. Just saying.
Hey, if this is true, that's 13. Barlissimo saying that contract is 13% of the whole salary cap for one wide receiver. That is nuts, man. That's nuts in the context. But go ahead, Bishop.
Look, man, I know you said DJ Moore should be happy, but I'm going to tell you somebody that should be petrified. And I know we're talking Bears football, but I'm going to be very honest with you right now, man. The Dallas Cowboys look real stupid.
Oh, CD Lamb, yeah.
They definitely should have took care of CD before this. So, once again, them cowgirls blew it. So, anyway, but yeah, I digress. Pause. Now, DJ, yeah, brother. They better get a deal done. And if I was them, I'd be trying to get that done now before the season starts, or at least going into the season, And I mean, man, hey, brother, the young man actually deserved the bag. So I ain't mad at him. Get that paper, dog. Get that paper. Get that
The
paper.
best part is his play's about to start to it's definitely gonna go in this direction moving forward. So I'm pay him all you want, Minnesota. Pay him a whole
Hey,
bunch. You gotta
Sean,
make sure.
Sean, if you DJ, are you trying to get people to the table, or are you trying to stall them out?
I like to get something now. All right. Because there's the one thing the reason I say that is because there's too many targets. All right. There's just so many targets. And I'm not saying DJ's not going to get it, but we talked about, all right, Keenan Allen's phenomenal in zone, against zone. Okay. We talked about Roman Dunze potentially having a really good year because of the fact that if they're in man, he's going to get the third best cornerback at best. Let's not forget about Cole Kmet. Let's not forget about the running backs out of the backfield. Okay. So his numbers could dip a little bit. So and truth be told, he doesn't seem like the type of guy who wants to set the market. Oh, he got this, so I need to top it. I think DJ Moore, in working with him last year, and I said I didn't get to work his football camp this year. But that's because I was coaching at the prep school last year. But anyway, because I would have loved to have been there and talked that he had over the weekend and just been there and talked with him. But he's the kind of guy who wants his money, but he's not trying to break the bank or set the market is what it is. So he'll be happy because what is it? 35 is for JJ, 35 AAV,
year, man. 35
yeah.
a year.
You give. I mean, I don't remember what his contract is currently, and I'm talking about DJ Moore, but
Well,
anyone have that? Anyone have that information? What DJ's contract is?
I don't, but I'm going to throw these numbers out really quick. So we got JJ at 35 mil per, AJ Brown at 32 mil per, and then Amon St. Brown at 30 mil per.
Okay, so Moore has 2 years left on his deal, makes 16 per this year and next year. So you get, but Bear should be getting to the table, get him 25 mil.
25 to
25
28.
sitting now, 25 mil. This out your boy Drake, heads.
DJ's
He's making about 16 a year now, man.
16, 24, and 16 and 25 is going to make.
Way underpaid by today's standards and by, he's going to get some
26.
Yeah, he's going to get some money,
Right.
man.
I'm sorry, 27. 27.
So do they have to do this year or next year?
It'd be smart to get it done quicker
better try
rather
to do it
than
now.
later, man. It'd be smart to get it done because this is just going to go up. CD Lamb's about to go back to the table. It's just going to get bad for polls, man, when it comes to this.
Think about it. You got CD Lamb, Jamarcus Chase, T. Higgins. These are guys that's all looking for paydays, bro. All them guys, those three guys are looking for paydays as well. And then if you throw DJ into the mix now, and then think about it. You got 1 year left on Larry on come on, bro. Yeah. I think 25 to 28 mil because I think CD gonna fall somewhere in between JJ and AJ.
About 30.
And Jamar, yeah. And well, Amon St. Brown is getting 30 mil. So CD's definitely gonna get more than Amon St. Brown.
Either that or his ass getting traded, one of the two, and I don't see that happening.
Well, no, CD's going to top the market. He'll be the next guy to top the market. You're right in that regard.
And then you got Jamar Chase. What is he going to get?
Well, let's look like, and this is kind of why we're having this conversation, right? So Chase was great last season. He might be even better this season. There's also potential for him not to be. So this is kind of why you might want to let things play out and pay these guys after. And I think Cincinnati's kind of gambling in that respect.
But they're gambling on two guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're gambling on both of those guys. That's it.
But
so I don't know
what you got here, though, Keds. You know with DJ Moore, you know what you got. You got a top 10 receiver. I'd say maybe even a top 5 receiver. I mean, you look at all the quarterbacks he had. He was still able to get 5,000 yards in 5 seasons with 37 quarterbacks. Before he came here. You know what I mean? So. This guy,
I wish you were kidding, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's true.
And we saw him, what he can do. We saw him literally take over a game. We saw him come up with a bit. We saw him have a career year. All right. This is with 4 games as a backup with a backup quarterback. Right. So you know what you got. And it would behoove the Bears to make an offer now. And, again, 25, 22, 24 mil a year. That's 8 more than he's making now.
I think 25.
You see what Beartooth 9 is saying. He's trying to make some logical sense of it. He's saying I redo the deal, adjust the last 2 years from 16 to 24, and then add 2 more years at 25. I don't know if that's going to be enough, man. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but it's a great idea.
That's not crazy.
That's not crazy, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
But you know what? No, man. I hear what you say. You don't think it'll be enough, but actually, if you listen to what Beartooth 9 is saying, if you do that and you adjust the next 2 years, he'll still have a chance at another bite at the apple before age 30. So that makes sense to do a deal like that.
He'll be 31 because he's 27 now, 27, 28, 29, 30. So he'll be 31 coming out, and then he'll have another bite of the apple, but it won't be a big bite. He could still get 12, 15 mil after that either by us or by someone else if he goes on the market. He ain't, put it this way, he ain't hitting the wick line anytime soon, right? He ain't in unemployment.
No, that he's not doing. Definitely, you're right about that. So.
Jan Hammer said, as I said before, the roster bonus is still paid by the Panthers. DJ gets 24 or 25. His cap hit for the Bears is only 16.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I just think the market just changed. The market definitely just changed for your top tier receivers. We have one of the top tier receivers. There's calls being made right now. I'm pretty sure, whatever those calls are, it probably been being made to DJ. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but, depending on who you are and how you think about this thing, I think it will behoove Ryan Poles not to try to get to the table and hurry up and get something done. I think if you wait to the end of the season, I think you might be in more trouble than what you bargained for. That's my opinion. It could go the absolute other way around, and I hope not. And that's only due to either lack of production or some type of injury, which I hope and pray that doesn't happen. But if I'm Ryan Poles, I'm getting that cat to the table. As soon as I possibly can get his agent in the room with me, I'm getting him to the table. But I digress, man. What do you guys think about some of the names on the some of the June 1st cuts? I don't know that anybody's been cut yet, but now is when June 1st started the season, when some of those guys with the heavier contracts, some of these teams can actually cut really, really good players. And as you saw on the thumbnail, Jonathan Allen hasn't been cut. I don't think he's going to get cut. I believe he's going to be a subject of trade talks here soon if he is not already. But by the time end of training camp comes, if he even goes to training camp, or by the time the trade deadline comes, I think Jonathan Allen is on another team. Question is, what team will he be on? But I digress, and I'll pass it over to Kid before I take too much.
I don't know where John Allen goes. I would not be mad if he went here. But at the same time, I kind of just want these kids to develop and turn into John Allen themselves. Mm-hmm. So that's, that's just me. I don't know. I'd really like to see who gets cut in the next week, right? I got to pay a little bit more attention and take a look and see who these guys are, because there might be some caliber out there that we could bring onto this team. We're still looking for that edge rusher on the other side. I spoke about that a fair amount last night. Yannick's out there. Perhaps somebody else of note comes into play. So we'll keep our eyes on that situation as it moves forward. But I'm not sure if they're going to go over to make a play for Jonathan Allen as far as the Bears are concerned.
Don't take Kenny's advice right here. You'd be drunk before the end of the show. You say if you took a shot every time I said I digress, you'd be a drunk MF by the time the end of this show.
But or case scenario for me, I've been watching some of my previous episodes. Case scenario, but in any event, we will play this game later in the season.
Go ahead, Sean. What do you think about that? I know you like Jonathan Allen, but what do you think about the because what I think ends up happening? Let's just say that, for instance, they made a trade. I think the way contracts like that are structured, you got a decent sized contract, and right now, I think if we did make the trade for him, I think he'd come in and have that restructured until the end of the season when they get back to the table and try to get something done long term. And so whatever that dollar amount is on the surface, I know it's not going to end up being that if they trade it for him. It's going to end up in a restructure and back to the negotiation table towards the end of the season or during the season, try to get something done long term. But how do you see that?
They got to redo it, because if you're planning on giving DJ more money, you're gonna have to cut. You're gonna have to kind of spread it out a lot. So I'd love it here. I mean, that's one hell. I love it if he was here. If he got here, is what I meant to say. That's one hell of a rotation. Now you get a proven guy to work to rotate with your emerging star in Gervon Dexter, and hopefully a Zach Pickens sighting, and hopefully he can become very serviceable. I would like it. It would take care of a lot. I mean, now and again, we might not even need him, and I shouldn't say need him, but Gervon Dexter might, if he takes this step forward. Now you have a dominant edge in Sweat, a dominant 3 tech in Dexter, a dominant 1 tech in Billings, and then you got a platoon at the other end. So you have guys, you just don't have that stud outside across from Sweat. I'd love to get him. But I don't know if we need him. I don't, because a lot of things, as we've talked about here, a lot of these, maybe we're expecting Gervon Dexter and hopefully Zach Pickens to really take a big step forward with the help of Coach Eric Washington. Because if they do, man, if he's up to snuff and is able to bring the best out of those two, and there's your rotation right there. All right, there's your rotation right there. Excuse me. And you don't have to worry about the huge contract that you're going to have to undertake if you bring someone over here like that, because they're still on rookie deals. So, again, Eric Washington might be the, I said the most important acquisition this offseason was Shane Waldron, and it is. I'm not going to back off of that. Man, 1B, or maybe the second most important acquisition might have been Eric Washington, because of what it's going to do to that defensive line, what it's going to do financially. If he does pull it out, we don't have to. We got to wait and see, and I'm all excited for it. I'll get my popcorn ready. Bishop,
with the addition of a Jonathan Allen, that would be scary to say the least. But more importantly, that would be a heck of an acquisition. But I also have to agree with both you guys, especially with Kez, with regard to, I would really like to see these young guys develop and have them develop into a Jonathan Allen. But I got something I'm going to throw at the entire panel. In the event, let's just say Jonathan Allen would become available in the trade, who would you trade using the trade to get him? And I'm going to start with you on this one, Nomad.
For me, it's the name that comes to mind is Khalil Herbert, and I know he's not enough to get Jonathan Allen. And you got like this left hand is saying by the way, left hand, welcome to the channel, man. I've seen you last couple of days, man. But if you're not subscribed, man, please do that and help out the community, help us build. We would greatly appreciate that. And he's saying, don't forget that second rounder we have. And polls have to be shown and likes what he sees first. But he's saying he's adding into the conversation. Don't forget that we have that second rounder. So there you go. I think Khalil Herbert and maybe a second rounder. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, they ain't doing that.
No.
They got Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson Jr., who they really like.
It doesn't necessarily have to be Khalil. It could be, think about other players that we have that they may want. It could be a Dominique Robinson, something like that.
No, you're not taking Dominique Robinson for that, dude. You need a quality player
a second round. And a second rounder. They think about that. You're giving up a second round pick for Jonathan Allen already. So what else do you need to add to that as a caveat?
So let me back us all up here for a second. Okay. Is he really on the chopping block?
Who?
Is he really Jonathan Allen specifically? You think they're trading him for real?
They're restructuring, man. They all that stuff, man, is up for grabs. I think anytime you bring in a new regime, there's nothing guaranteed to be solid on that team. I think the only piece I don't think is moving is the big D tackle they signed last year. Everything else, I think maybe that receiver number 17. I don't think anybody's gonna. I don't think they're getting him off of them. But Yeah, everybody, pretty much everybody else, man, those big salaries, they're going to try to clean that up. Every regime needs to start over financially for the most part. And, I could definitely
Right.
see block.
You're right. I don't know. And why I'm backing this up here is I just want to zero in on the Washington Commanders for a minute, and we'll probably never do this again. They're a little bit of a frightening situation over there. They look very similar to us. And I just wanted to, I need y'all to respect that. You know what I mean? I want the Bears fans out there to respect that. They've got themselves a rookie signal caller now. They've got themselves two high-end wide receivers. Logan Thomas is pretty solid over there as a pass catching tight end. I believe they got another tight end too. I'm just blanking out on what the name is. I just told you the running back core right there. That offense looks pretty decent. And as we all well know, they've kind of gutted the defense that they've been building over the course of these last few years. So there goes Chase Young. There goes Montez to us. They have signed Jonathan Allen. There's another gentleman, and I'm blanking out on his name on that defensive line that'll hold things down. I'm not sure if they're in a position, like if we're specifically talking about financials, yeah, maybe they want to restructure the books, sure. But if they want to compete, and I think they may be in a position to do so, I'm not sure if they're going to be really all that interested in letting go a guy like letting go a guy like Jonathan Allen for peanuts. I think they're either getting a solid draft pick in this case, or again a high caliber player that they have interest in. So that's where my headspace is.
Do you want to give up a second round pick for that? Is the question?
Not at all. No, I'm just being a real. You know what? Let me rephrase that. We do have 2 second rounders this coming season.
That too. Yes, we do.
Well, the better question, Kaz, is do you think Ryan Poles might have the appetite for it instead of you?
I think Ryan Poles traditionally is not married to second round picks. Is probably the best thing I can say there, right? Like, hey, you want a second round pick? Sure, you got a second round pick. Upside is so far it hasn't been the end of the world. If we're talking a second rounder, I think he might do it if he feels that this is the move that helps put the Bears into that Super Bowl conversation. Mm-hmm. So that's Ryan.
Go ahead. Anybody else?
And to second what Kez was saying regarding, is Jonathan Allen one of those pieces they would be willing to move outside of financially? Because when you think of Dan Quinn and his defense, I think he fits into what Dan Quinn likes to do. So, I mean, outside of financials, then yeah. But if they can find a way to work around that for at least this season, then he's going to still be on that team, because I don't think they're that far away from at least being competitive. I'm not trying to give them that they're going to make the playoffs or anything like that, but they will be. I think they can be competitive. They're not so far off from being competitive. They're not at a complete gut stage like other teams would be, like say Carolina for that reason. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting considering it is now June the 3rd. So I guess the next week or so we should know a lot more.
Well, real quick, man. I got 5 players. I'm about to share my screen and show you guys.
I thought you said I got 5 on it.
I got 5 on. Whenever y'all ready, we can make that work. But I got something right here. Let me see if anybody, there's gonna be some players on here. Of course,
I got 5 on it.
You guys, can you see this?
A long distance joint.
Can you see this? These are some potential. These are 5 players with trade potential here at this point of the year. You got Brandon Ayuk. You guys can't see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but read it out anyhow for the viewers out there who are
all right. Brandon Ayuk, the 49ers, Courtland Sutton, wide receiver from the Broncos, Patrick Surtain II, wow, for the Broncos, Buda Baker, safety for the Cardinals, and Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback for the Saints. I'll just start with you, kids. Is there a name on here that kind of perks at you when you look at it and you're curious about what happens, or if the Bears may or may not be interested? Pick any name.
No, there isn't any. I'll be the realist one here. Like names jump out, but we don't really need a Patrick Surtain. We don't need that much really need any level of support in the secondary. I would have to say it might be an upgrade if they wanted to double dip into that realm. I just don't see them spending money right now in secondary when they just signed Jalen Johnson and Tyreek is starting to step up and into his role. I just don't see it. These two wide receivers, I have like Courtland Sutton on some low wallet share opportunity deal. Like maybe I like Courtland Sutton. He's a guy. He just hasn't had a quarterback all this time. Like that's just a fact of the matter. Broncos are full rebuild. Just about everybody out of there is leaving. So as far as Brandon Ayuk, he's one of my least favorite wide receivers in the league. And I just say that out loud. I'm sorry, Brandon.
Why is that, man? Why you don't like Brandon Ayuk, man? What he peed in your Cheerio?
You want to know what? No, you want to know what? Like it's actually like a legit, real answer. He did not pee in my Cheerios. I do not eat or like Cheerios for that matter. In any event,
not even that, man.
He peed in my huevos rancheros. There's no pee involved and no eggs. Brandon, I picked Brandon multiple times for my fantasy team, and he did absolutely nothing for a couple of seasons. And then last season to the previous season, he started picking up a little bit, and it's just a little bit. I don't really trust him as a wide receiver. He doesn't have sure hands. I'd say the real wide receiver over there is actually Debo, and he's a running back / wide receiver for all intents and purposes. I don't like Brandon. Brandon is a number 2 wideout to me, and I think we've got 3 number 1s. So I have zero interest in a Brandon Ayuk. That's just me.
Go ahead. Anybody else?
What do you think, Bishop?
I'm looking at these names, man. All great names or good names. Very productive guys. But based off of how our roster is set up, man, I don't see any of those guys being anybody that we could just. That's what I consider needing to add. If we could get them on as a bonus, yeah. But none of these guys are looking to come on to be any team as a bonus. They're going to be looking to come on and be, impactful in some form or fashion. And I mean, Buda Baker as safety, if we needed some, extra safety help. But even with that, man, I mean, I'm good, bro. I'm okay with what we have, honestly. Develop and let's rock and roll with what we got, man. Because I don't see any of these guys right here, right now, that personally I would unseat any of our guys at those respective positions to insert one of these guys, especially right. Brandon Ayuk. No.
Well. Here the thing is just to put them on display and see if there are guys that perk your ears. We ain't no GMs, you know what I mean? We don't know what Poles might be thinking. Okay, I want to see that, but you never know, man. I think Patrick Surtain is a top 5 corner in the league. Do we have a need at corner? Most people would say no. I might agree with that. Buda Baker is a hell of a player, man. But it's just for worth conversation to see how people think about some of these. Let me take that down because I got another little list for you guys, and this is some potential cut candidates that's coming up soon.
Well, while you're ramping that up, I'll just give a little bit of love to our guy Plank, the whole Plank family, She Plank, Jake Grizz. Big ups to you too, Jake Grizz and Plank for the super chat. Love it. Hey, y'all, get them likes up, like, share, subscribe to Nomad Network, y'all. Thanks, Plankster. Appreciate it, bro. Good looking
out, Plank. Good looking out, man. Please get those likes up, you guys. Please help us out there. Here's a name that sticks out to me right there, Sean. See that name, DJ Humphries? That's the name. Longtime blindside blocker in Arizona has been released ahead of a $16 million payout in the 2024 campaign. Instead, the Cardinals will take a dead cap hit of $6.9 million in 2024, $6.9 million in 2025. Arizona will free up $15.9 million of cap space this weekend, and Humphries remains unsigned at the time. Lockdown left tackle, man. That's what we're talking here. Lockdown left tackle. And that's one of my main concerns, Sean, on this team is that tackle spot, the left tackle spot, and having the right veteran there in case, Braxton Jones is not the guy that we really need to keep this kid Caleb clean. And as we're developing Kieran Amagachi. And so that name is really, really that on this list, that's the name that really sticks out to me. But I'll stop right there and pass it to you.
Are you willing to take another big contract?
See, that was the thing. That contract is not going to look the same once they make the move for him. They're going to get him in here right away and restructure him for at least this season.
Yeah, but if you think that we're the only ones calling, we're not the only ones calling. There's going to be other teams who need a left tackle. He's going to have options, and you want to lowball this guy. He was just like, all right, thank you very much. I'm out.
Right. There's
no way you're going to get him at a reasonable rate, not when he has options. And the thing is, people are going to want to move quickly because you're already in OTAs. So you're going to want to say, okay, let me get this guy in here now to acclimate him to our new system. So, yeah, I see it. Unless you sign him to make him your starting left tackle, no.
Oh, he's coming in to start. If he comes in, he's coming in to start. No question about that.
Yeah, then you know what? I don't think no. I think Braxton Jones has made improvements from year 1 to year 2. I think having the same offensive line coach, keeping Simo back, is going to help further his development. I would assume. I know you can when you make an ass out of you an assumption every time you make an assumption, but I assume he's going to get better. He's got stronger.
I like that.
So
that was well spun.
Well, I missed it. What you say, Sean?
That was real.
You can't do it again. You can't do it again.
Yeah, the timing's off. But it's just I just think Braxton Jones is again, he's about to get to his ceiling, which is an above average left tackle. If you can win if you think an above average left tackle is good, then there's no need to go spend money on it. Now because you don't have to have world all pros at every position. No team does. But here's where the places where you cut corners. I don't want to say got lucky, but you're fortunate to get a Braxton Jones who's ascending, who's going to be again an above. Most teams don't have an above average left tackle. Many teams don't. That way he would be one of the better. He'd be middle of the road to maybe end of the top tier. Oh no, he'd be middle of the road. Maybe top of the middle of the road left tackles, but he'd be middle of the road left tackles, and you can win with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think they have to give both Braxton and Karan some time for them to evaluate what they actually have in place.
Correct.
That's my 2 cents there. Humphreys would be an interesting acquisition. The dollars and cents associated with it, as well as the 2 picks that they've spent on the position, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of investment into left tackles. So I think they focus on those 2 guys and see what they actually have in them before they make a move at that particular position. That's just
I agree with you, kids. And I think before they address the left tackle position, they need to address the socks.
I ain't gonna let you trigger me. How about this, man? How about this? Here's my issue with it. And Cornelius hates when I talk about this, man. I'm sorry, Cornelius. But I got absolutely sick and I got absolutely tired of Braxton Jones getting walked back into Justin last year for not having the.
It didn't happen.
I know, Sean, I know where you're gonna go. I got sick and tired of that, and it's the wrap on him, man. You power rush him back into the quarterback. I'm just worried about the exact same thing happened to this new quarterback that we have, and sometime after 4 or 5 games, we're going to be right back in here talking about, man, we suppose he should have made a move. You got an opportunity to get a veteran stopgap guy if you want one. If he's there, I don't know if it's costing too much money. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to see this rookie quarterback and the opportunity that he has be shortstop because the left tackle that we have doesn't have the base to anchor. That's my problem with it, Sean. That's the only problem I have with the O-line.
But you don't know that, and that's what you got to see. You got to see how it works. He's been in the weight room, man.
That dude
we've both seen the development from year 1 to year 2. We also knew that he's not a 1-year developmental. Like some people, they come in and they're boom. All right, this is where they're going to be. You plan them there, blah, blah. You understand he's got a lot of development to do. He took a big step last year, and you presume, again, with probably still working out with Olin Kreutz in the offseason, still with Chris Morgan, still with the same offensive scheme, all right, for the most part, he's going to get better. He's going. You have to make that assumption. But you know what I just said about assumption. So you just have to assume that he's going to get better. You just assume this kid is putting in the work, and if he takes another leap anywhere close to last year, man, I'm comfortable with him at that spot for the next 5-7 years. If he takes a leap like he did from year 1 to year 2.
And especially if he's recovered from his neck injury that he had last season too, which I think, prevented some of that too, for him to be able to, I get it, Nomad, and he didn't go get a BBL during the off season and all of that. But I think that the kid, we got to give the kid an opportunity. I think that we're going to see a lot better from him,
Well,
and in worst case, man, maybe it's his socks.
And I ain't gonna let you trick me, man. And look, man, let me tell you something.
That was great. Well played. But look, I know you're worried about his lower end, but then you look at Karan, and Karan has it. So maybe they. I've been waiting weeks for this one. Maybe they did go buy a BBL. Maybe that's really what happened. They went and they got themselves a BBL. Worst come to worst, if Braxton, if Braxton can't hold up to that bull rush, they can swap in Karan.
You want to put Karan? You're talking about the rookie Karan?
Hey, Braxton,
he might
rookie.
Maybe he has the lower for the bull rush.
Why
he might not have all the other skills.
Yeah, but he if you notice last year, he did much better, a lot better against the bull rush.
He did.
And so
hopefully he improved again.
You presume that he's going to be still in the weight room. Everybody, you know what I mean?
For the first time in our history, I got to vehemently disagree with you. No way in hell Braxton Jones did better at the bull rush last year. No, he did not.
Yes, from year 1 to year 2?
He sucked first time and he sucked again.
Oh, yeah, he did. Come on now. Of course he did.
No, from year 1 to year 2. Again, I'm not. All I'm saying is there was noticeable improvement. He still needs improvement. Don't get me wrong, but there was noticeable improvement.
Yeah,
right. I'm not putting him in a gold jacket by any stretch. All I'm saying is you saw noticeable improvement.
My boy King, man, you silly MF for you, man. He said BBL Braxton.
He called. Hey, look. He called.
That's actually really good.
He reached out to Cardi B and said, "Girl, give me that number. I need to get this BBL immediately."
Now that's funny. That's funny, King Booker World. That's funny.
It's hilarious, man. But yeah, you know what, man? Y'all gotta understand. When we got Braxton Jones, I've been his biggest fan since we got this dude. But as a fan, I would be remiss not to point out where I see a potential problem. You guys may not think so much of it. I think differently. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's healthy. You guys see it one way, I see it another. You guys in the chat, I'm still going to support Braxton Jones, but I think that lack of anchor is going to be, if it was a problem with Justin, it ain't going to change in one damn year. He's going to still need some time to get stronger and stronger. Could he ever get there? Yeah, of course. Could he ever get there? But I don't see that happening in one offseason. It's just I don't see it, man. I think they need a stopgap. I think they got one. They got what's his name from Indianapolis. They got a guy that they feel like is a veteran stopgap player at the left tackle. I just can't think of his name right off the top of my head. They've got a guy, and I think they're going to bring him through camp and see what he can bring to the table, see if he's enough, or do we need to make another signing. I think that's what the plan is, fellas. But I do believe competition.
All you got to do is one thing, and he'll be fine. You have him in Darnell Wright. Have him start attacking the defensive lineman. All right, you fire out the defensive lineman, and then kick step, problem solved. All right, because he's a good run blocker. So you initiate, you neutralize that burst. Okay, and now you kick step, and we know he's a dancing bear as far as that goes. And now you're not coming off with 100% of that explosion because you got to restart and that buys time for our QB. So there's a lot of things you can do, and I think that they may do that. Because this, we got the finances are a huge part of it. Like if that's all we need, all right. Well, I need you to practice this. I need you to practice coming off, hitting them, all right, and then kick stepping. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You got to then you don't have to worry about the bull rush. You don't have to worry about the bull rush because you ain't got no type of power once you restart.
I guess we just earned ourselves a scratch off GM, gas station scratch off GM. My man, the Bishop, up in this mother.
Let's do
it. Scratch one Bishop on a scratch off, man. I went and turned that in over at the Sitgo an hour ago.
Gas station?
Yes.
Nomad, don't count me out, bro. The first thing I take care of is the socks for you, bro.
See? I got you. I ain't give a damn about no socks.
I ain't gonna let Keith take me down the rabbit hole, man. I'm gonna pass it on to Canuck, man. Let's get some shout outs and some pleasantries before we get out of here, because we can go on all day talking about this stuff.
Yes,
we can and we will all every show, so we'll keep it going, we'll keep it rocking. Today we'll shut her down. Give some love to you guys out there in the chat. Just Bees out there. We got some Lions fans out there. Lions Chat Sports. How you guys doing? You've jumped and watched the show a couple of times. Give you guys some love. Thanks for the love and respect back at you. MC or Mick Fact, depending on how you take it. Dante Purifies out there with us. He's the guy. Joseph Archer, KQ, Just B, Joseph Belinsky, Richard Long, Kenny out there, Florida Bears fan. Who?
Calvin Canterbury.
Calvin Canterbury. I miss Calvin. I didn't see Calvin. Oh, dang it. Eric Christensen's out there with us too. Who else we got? They say Florida Bears fan. Florida Bears fan. What up? In the grasp. Anybody else I missed from earlier? Oh, you got King Booker World. You came in late. What's up with that?
Real quick. Thank you, Naj. He's talking about Matt Pryor, the veteran left tackle they brought in as a stopgap, who's going to come in through training camp and see what he has. Matt Pryor, left tackle. Thank you for that, the Naj.
He's solid. Oh, the Naj. The Naj is out there with us. I didn't catch you earlier on. Smitty Q and Smitty. Both the Smitties is here with us. Man, and Plank. What it do, Plankster? Hey, man, just giving a fair amount of love to the guys who give us love right back. Like, share, subscribe on your way out, please. We'd appreciate it. And do the exact same for my guy right underneath me, the Superback. Like, share, and subscribe to Sports Zone Chicago. Superback, what you got to say, my brother?
Well, King Booker World was late because he was coming up with that one comment, which we'll excuse him for because that was on point.
Hey, all right. It was a pointed comment.
BBL Braxton.
Definitely comment of the day for sure, King Booker.
Sports owners and Maniacs Unite. Happy House Music Monday to all my peoples. There's a lot of names, and we can't just get, Bears fans. We have a tendency to go sign him. When we see a big name, does he fit? What is his contract going to look like? What's he going to demand? What's he asking for? So let's not the development of our own people. Okay, let's not stop that development. And I think the development of Braxton Jones is good. I told you where I feel his ceiling is. I think it'll be okay. The thing is, just gotta stay healthy. And that's all. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to our talks on Wednesday. See if anything happens. I like most Bears fans, really just can't wait to see it get started. Cue up MC Hammer, man. Let's get it started because I'm really fired up to see it. I'm really fired up to see. I was talking today with Herb, and I said, you know what? I said I just want to see Caleb fail so bad in the preseason. I want him to learn. That is the best experience when you're going up against a great defense and they get you and they keep getting you. And then you're like, what did you do? How'd you do it? What'd you do? And they talk. And, the old saying, iron sharpens iron. And then come week one, man, all of a sudden he comes out, and has a very efficient game with, that's what I'm hoping for. And that's what I'm praying for. And I'm here for it, man. I'm 10 toes down. I can't wait to see it all happen because week one, I'll be in that press box, fired up. I'm probably gonna wear my Bears socks. I'm gonna wear my Chicago Bears Nike shoes. I can't wear anything up there. It's the Chicago Bears, but who cares? I'm wearing my Chicago Bears underwear too. Tell me I can't wear that.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Those boxers or those the underoos?
They're underoos. I kept them. I kept them from years ago.
Figure out a check. For the fans. Hey, Kenny Adams, what's up? What it do? Sorry, brother.
Well, hey, Sean, do me a favor. Send me a pair of those socks. Okay. Anyway.
Not gonna do it.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us again for a little past the hour, as you always do. We really appreciate it. You guys support us, and we love you guys for it. And thank you again for all those that's listening, that's not in the chat. Thank you as well for following us and hanging out with us today. You know, we got to always trying to add a little, humor to the game, and I tried my best, and Nomad didn't bite today, but I'm going to get him one day. Trust me. I'm going to get him. But, hey, and King, man, I like that one, brother. I like that one. BBL Braxy. Yeah, I like that one, brother. Yes, sir. And Sean slid in a good one today, too, that he can't repeat. So we've been firing on all cylinders today, man. I will say this has been one heck of a show today. And looky here, like I said Friday, I said it earlier today. I'm going to say it one more time. Let's go. Let's get to it. Let's get some football going. With that being said, thank you, everybody. It's warm. It seemed to be warm everywhere. So get out, enjoy the sun, stay hydrated, whatever that may look like to you. But more importantly, get out. Have some fun, you guys. Enjoy the rest of me too, my brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I want to wish everybody a very safe and healthy week. But now I'm going to pass it to my man, Nomad. But one more time, Chi-Town, stand up, baby. Nomad, to you.
Real quick, 88 degrees in Chicago. Well, I'm out in the burbs now, so I'm further away from the lake than I was when I lived in the city. So out here it's 88 degrees, baby. 88.
97 where I'm at, brother.
Sean, I don't give a damn how hot it is. Don't you ever in your life ever tell me what kind of drawers you wearing in your damn life. I don't give a damn. Don't you ever tell me what kind.
I'm not saying I'm wearing them now. I said I'm going to wear them.
I don't care about nothing about the
drawers. Are off limit.
No, I'm not wearing them now. Right? They're in my drawer. My drawers are in my drawer.
Hey,
that's in the same drawer with my drawers in the same drawer with my socks. Come on, man.
All I get to think about is stains, man. I don't even want to think about that. But that's a whole other.
Sounds like a personal issue. So like someone got PTSD.
I could have lived without that visual, bro.
He's far too old for stains.
All right. Let's get ready to get out of here, man. Thank you guys for showing up. No Maniacs were crazy in here. It was a good show. Hella energy in here, man. Like always, man. Love the content. Love the reactions. Whether we agreed or disagreed is neither here nor there, man. We're here to express ourselves about what we think about what the Bears should do moving forward. These salary cap casualties, these cut potentials, all this stuff, man. These trade candidates, it's all worth talking about. What we feel about the offensive line, all this stuff is fair game, man. We're just here to talk about it. We ain't here to make judgments on each other about it. So appreciate all the feedback from everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat. Hey, man, take that off the screen, man. Don retarded, man. What's wrong with Don, man? Something is wrong with Don. Hey, Don, something wrong with your ass. Straight up, man. You short bus material for that.
Are there buttons on the underwear, Don, or does he have the clip?
Hey, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. I got to cut this off. Hey, but whatever you're doing in your life, man, let me tell you something. These 3 famous words will help you achieve it. Because if you can think it, you can see it, and then you can manifest it. You can do that in your life. You're a successful person. But thank you guys for being here. We are out.